רבותיי, the Zera Shimshon, we are 3 days away from Purim, the week of Parshat Tisa. Come the Zera Shimshon and speak a lot about keeping Shabbat, the mitzvah of Shabbat. And listen to this beautiful, beautiful message today. ויאמר השם אל משה לאמור, come the Midrash and write, לא על ידי מלאך ולא על ידי שרף, אלא על ידך משה רבנו. Meaning, when God told Moshe Rabbeinu regarding to Shabbat, He told them only you will command the Shabbat, not angel, not Saraf. Saraf is another kind of spiritual angels. No. Only you. Ach, et Shabbatotai tishmoru. Meaning, now you're going to add to keep also Shavut. Shavut meaning Isur Darabanan. If I'm going to give you an example of Isur Darabanan, what's Shavut? They were allowed to carry from one domain to another domain in Shabbat. Can we carry from one domain to another domain on Shabbat? If it's no Eruv, we're allowed, right? Now they have something that called Carmelit. Carmelit is not Reshut HaYachid, but not Reshut HaRabim. Meaning we have questions, which domain does? And this place we're not allowed to carry, not because they're Oraita, because the rabbi afraid if you're going to carry there, most likely you're going to go to carry in any other ways. How do you call it? Shvut. Extra forbidden. Not because this is Asur, because many times we're afraid. We're afraid what people is going to say. We're afraid you might going to come to do a certain melacha. Muktzeh. Muktzeh is anything that is not used for Shabbat. Do we allow to touch muktzeh in your house? Why not? Why not? It's not Asur. Again, you cannot, this is what we call Shvut. Shvut is extra forbidden from the rabbis. So when the Pasuk says, Achet Shabbatotai tishmoru, you have to keep the Shabbat, it doesn't talk about regular keeping. How do you know that not? First of all, how do you know that this mitzvah of Shabbat, of Shavut, is only by Moshe and not by angel? The first question of Zera Shimshon. Second question is, why only this mitzvah? Why only this mitzvah? God said, you're going to do it, and not angels. Why not Filin? Why not Tzitzit? Tzitzit, it doesn't say only you and not angels. The Filin, it doesn't say only you and not angels. Shabbat, only Moshe and not angels. I mean, what's the reason? First of all, do you know that ויאמר השם אל משה לאמור, דבר בני ישראל. Here he said, ואתה דבר בני ישראל. Here in the Shabbat, he said, ואתה דבר. God is talking to Moshe Rabbeinu said, and you will say it. He never mentioned like this. ודבר השם אל משה לאמור. מה זה ואתה תדבר? ואתה meaning only you and not angel. Why not? Why not? Say like this. Like he said in ארץ מצרים, אני ולא מלאך, אני ולא שליח, אני ולא אחר. I will tell you why. What is the reason we're not allowed to do Shvut? Shvut, Daniel, is a Zalman from the rabbis. The rabbi is afraid from us. We accept the Shabbat 18 minutes before. We're afraid, God forbid, to break the Shabbat. So what we did? We did fence. Shvut is most of the Shvut is fence. You cannot prepare salad in order to eat Motzei Shabbat. Why not? Why not? Mechin mishabbat lechol. What's the problem? What's the problem to prepare something for Saturday? They call it Isur Darabanan. We are afraid if we're going to give you to do it, the whole Shabbat is going to become. We don't talk business on Shabbat. What's the problem? I'm not doing business. I want to buy the watch of Daniel. Amazing. I'll watch. Yes, America. 2-ton Daytona. I don't ask me. They have something like this, Moshe. They have. Okay, 2-ton Daytona. But this is Daytona 1867. And all Daytona. This is the original. Only 5 of them exist. I want to buy it. The whole Shabbat I'm talking to Daniel. I like your watch. Do we allow to do it? Why not? That I'm buying it. I'm doing any business. Many things we do from the rabbis, you know why? To protect you. If you're going to say yes now, either it's not going to look good, people is going, rabbi is doing business, or either you might going to come to do business. So how do you call it shvut? Shvut is the word of the rabbis to come. Now, come to Zera Shimshon, right? Which human being were afraid that am I going to come to do mistakes? Human being or angel? Beautiful. Angel can do mistakes. If you tell angel, do not open the light, that you have to tell him, do not go next to the light? No, right? Why? Because the angel is perfect. You tell him something, he's going to do it, perfect. You tell him do not do something, he's going to do it, perfect. Human being, you don't, how that, what do we see it? What do we see it? What do we see it? Chava. Chava Imenu, the God told him not to eat. When the snakes came, no, God told you not to eat and not to get close. And he pushed Chava to the tree, she touched the tree, you see nothing happened to you. Yeah. So the same way that nothing, God never said not to touch. God said, you see, human being can make mistakes. They can add, they can reduce. A minute that they start to talk about business, a minute later they forget they do business. A minute you tell them you're allowed to carry, later on they carry in the Rishut Rabim. So you have to prevent a human being to do mistakes. If angel gave us the mitzvah, if angel gave us the Shabbat, do we know anything about Shvut? No, you know why? Because angel will tell you, you have to fulfill Shabbat the same way that I should fulfill. That every angel have Shvut, that angel have the Rabbanan. No, why? Because he cannot do mistakes. So by him, when God told him to keep Shabbat, Shabbat is exact. He can keep Shabbat in the last minute of Shabbat, because he will never come to break it. But a human being that can do mistakes, we tell them accept Shabbat 15, 18 minutes before. Take Shabbat. Why? Because we don't want you to do mistakes. They call it Shvut. Do not carry muktzeh because we're afraid. Do not do this, we're afraid. Why? Because human being entitled to do mistakes. What's the message? So from here we study that Alchot Shabbat only Moshe said, and not angel, like the Midrash said, not angel, not sparks, nothing else. Only Moshe, only human being. Why? Because only Moshe can tell us, because he is a human being. What's the message? In Shabbat we spoke. We said the message, Ve'ata tetzaveh. What do you mean Ve'ata tetzaveh, Daniel? Ve'ata, first of all. מה זה ואתה? וידבר השם עם משה, מה זה ואתה תצווה? Last week parasha. First of all, be ואתה. And only then תצווה. When you come in to command people not to smoke, you cannot smoke and tell your son, don't smoke. You cannot speak in the synagogue and tell your son, don't speak on the tefillah. You cannot get angry and tell your son, why are you getting? Hypocrite. Contradiction. You have to be perfect yourself in order to come to speak to people and to tell them what to do. The only reason that Moshe Rabbeinu can command us, and Shvut meaning extra mile, Shvut meaning things that logic-wise doesn't make sense. Why that I don't have to do it? I don't understand. I want to do food to Motzei Shabbat. What's the problem? He's allowed to do it for Shabbat. He's allowed. We are afraid. I want to speak business. What's the problem? We are afraid. Moshe Rabbeinu, that is human being, said the same way that I'm afraid, the same way that I'm teaching you to be afraid. Who היה אומר? First of all, who היה? And only then אומר. First of all, become one. First of all, become perfect in what you said. You're talking about charity? Give charity. You're talking about Shalom Bayit? Be perfect in Shalom Bayit. You're talking about education of children? Be perfect in education. When you are perfect, you don't need to speak. Your actions speak much louder. How did they said? The best speech of every rabbi is not what the rabbi said, it's what the rabbi do. Yom Tov Mevorach.